Today on 10-Minute IT Jams, we're joined by Rob Crawley, who is the Chief Technology Officer at Fluent Commerce. To offer a premium customer experience, retailers need to adapt quickly and challenge the status quo, but their old systems can't support this new reality. That's why Fluent Commerce exists. Fluent Commerce was founded to solve this problem and accelerate commerce globally with a powerful and exciting commerce platform designed to meet the retail needs of the future. Rob joins us today to tell us more about Fluent Commerce and the importance of Composable Commerce. Thank you for coming along, Rob, and welcome to the Jam.
Well, thank you. It's an absolute pleasure to be here.
Thank you very much. Well, let's get straight into it. Could you tell us a little bit about Fluent Commerce and some of your products?
Yeah, absolutely. As you beautifully said in the intro, Fluent Commerce was founded to solve a core challenge that retailers were facing. Really that challenge to step up from just being able to fulfill an order to driving customer experience. And what we see is they didn't really have the tools to do that. And in a nutshell, that challenge is why Fluent Commerce exists. So our core product is a distributed order management system. And for those listening who may not have come across this term before, the role of an order management system at a very high level is to deliver the very best customer experience at the very lowest cost when it comes to fulfilling orders related to transactions across a range of different selling channels. And I mentioned two distinct aspects to it: customer experience and operational efficiency, minimizing cost. And in fact, Fluent Commerce was the first to reimagine an OMS as being a driver of customer experience rather than just a post-order processing function. And in fact, most of our customers choose Fluent Commerce for this before the buy button functionality. In effect, our ability to make the most competitive promise, both reliably and confidently.
Awesome. Now, what innovations are you working on right now, and how will they help businesses?
So as I mentioned, the role of an OMS has transformed from just a pure transaction engine for processing orders to a driver of customer experience. And our focus is on innovating in both of these areas to minimize overselling and underselling. The former results in customer dissatisfaction through cancelled orders, and the latter in leaving unrealized revenue on the table. And most of our retailers, brands and wholesalers are currently restricted on how much they can optimize because everything flows through their central ERP system. Every piece of data they have has a certain lag or staleness. And we don't see that as the future. Rather, we will source up-to-date transaction information directly from the point of that transaction to better fuel what we have done for a long time. We will have up-to-date transaction information by tapping into that source data to both improve efficiency, but drive those customer value propositions I mentioned before. And it is 2023. It would be almost impossible to talk about innovation in the technical arena without mentioning AI. And at Fluent Commerce, we host our entire platform on AWS. And working closely with our trusted partner teams at AWS on enhancing our product suite with automated decisioning and data-informed optimizations is just a natural fit. And they're just 2 points, but of a broader innovation strategy. And in fact, Fluent Commerce has recently been recognized as the highest new entry in the Forrester Wave for order management systems, and in fact has been identified as the global leader for strategy, something we're collectively very proud of.
Understandably. Now, could you explain for our viewers what Composable Commerce is?
Absolutely. And the term Composable Commerce is very new, but this idea of providing optionality in the solutions we provide actually goes back quite some ways as well. It's just really come to the fore in recent years. And Composable Commerce is about selecting and assembling best-of-breed solutions to satisfy a customer's distinct needs. Their customers have more exacting desires, so our response to that needs to be more tailored. And this one-size-fits-all unified platform just doesn't meet this need anymore. It's what compromises are you willing to accept rather than how can I differentiate? And there's technologies and approaches like Mac, of which Fluent Commerce is a proud member of the Mac Alliance, that then drives towards a certain set of technologies and techniques in terms of microservices, API, headless, and then looking at those technologies together to really form the basis for these composable solutions. But if we look at the underpinning concepts of composable commerce, once we get past the technical jargon, it's still about enabling discrete pieces of business functionality to evolve at their own pace and composing these in a modular fashion, and also being open to extension. So having well-defined APIs, contracts, and a rich developer experience to allow these to come together in a graceful and effective way.
Well, I guess sort of following on from that as well, what are the technical benefits of composable commerce?
Great question. So many of the benefits are closely aligned to the technical benefits we'd see more broadly of a modular architecture. In particular, the flexibility to adapt and iterate quickly. Not all parts of a solution will need to evolve at the same rate. You will not necessarily be innovating in all areas. Some areas of the product might be about stability and you want to maximize for scale rather than for learning in another area. This gives us this flexibility. And it also gives us faster development and deployment, which are key aspects of driving improvements in DORA metrics. So again, metrics that are well established at defining the delivery efficacy of an organization. So when you consider the cloud native part of Mac and composable commerce as well, you then look at resilience in terms of auto scaling. You look at responsiveness and improved cost efficiencies. You also look at the future-proofing or evolutionary qualities of your architecture as well, no longer needing to deal with deep tech debt in a particular area, but be able to then evolve gracefully as your customers' needs change over time. And finally, it's about ecosystem, moving away from a build everything yourself through to a how can I leverage and reuse, and again, maximize the economies of scale.
Well, I guess finally, to finish off, what should companies consider when evaluating composable commerce solutions?
This might sound strange coming from a CTO, but I would advise customers to really have a clear idea of what the business outcomes they wish to achieve. Composable commerce is often talked about in technical terms, just like I've done in this conversation. But an effective technology strategy, it doesn't live in a vacuum. Rather, it's meant to amplify the business strategy. So for instance, a business may wish to improve their speed to respond. They may have really smart people who know how to capitalize on customer opportunities, but there's technical barriers in their way. This company will be seeking an opportunity to allow their experts in-house to capitalize on those opportunities. However, if a company's goal was to drive operational efficiency, then perhaps a different set of choices would be required. So really have a clear goal on, is it customer experience? Is it operational efficiency? Is it a bit of both? And then drive your choices from there. But one huge difference between a unified platform and a composable platform is that integration plays a key role. And I would advise every single person to look then at the quality or the likely indicators of a quality integration. And that is looking at the API documentation, looking at the SDKs, looking at the overall developer experience that the Mac product or the composable product has, because that will be a leading indicator of how much pain or lack of you will see when the integration starts in earnest. I would also advise to look at the skills within your organization and what skills would you need to be able to be effectively harness that product. Do you have these skills in your organization today? If not, what will your strategy be to gaining access to them? Will it be via partner, internal training, or hiring? All of these strategies can be effective, but be warned, there is a learning curve. And when you first start, it will likely take longer, but the rate of change will then increase dramatically as you enable business users to react and adapt to changing customer needs without being throttled through a central technical team. So in closing, the journey to composable commerce can be challenging, but it is absolutely worth the investment. And I wish you the best of luck on your own journey.
Well, it has been a pleasure having you on the Jam, Rob, and learning more about Fluent Commerce and Composable Commerce. We look forward to hearing more from Fluent Commerce very soon.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.